my groove. But hey, that's the internet. And I will say that happens sometimes. And, we just move accordingly. So I'm not even going to trip. You see it just loads back up. I'm going to come in here. And if you haven't seen the treehouse in a while, this is what it looks like. And I'm just going to take us a little seat here on the bench as we finish this up, because we are almost done here. And you just seen how easy that was. And that was a lot of other spaces that I could explore as well, which I do enjoy exploring in my free time. But back to our evolution of the internet and what the future of the internet could consist of. Now, also the increased use of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Now, AI and machine learning will continue to play a larger role in various aspects of the internet, from personalized recommendations to autonomous vehicles. Now, you may think, what the heck does autonomous vehicles have to do with the internet? Well, think about it. If you have 30 minutes that it takes for you to get from one place to another, but your car drives itself, what are you going to be doing inside of the car? You're going to be on the internet. And if you're on the internet, what are you going to be doing in that time? Are you going to be spending time more on social media, spending time connecting with those that you're about to see when you get there? Are you going to be buying something that's going to get there when you get there? And again, we heard the AI and the more personalized recommendations, right? I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen any of those futuristic shows or movies where it's basically like, hey, do you want this or do you want that? Or it's already basically got your stuff ready. I was just watching a video from the World Economic Forum, and they were saying how one of the most tedious jobs that all of us have to do repeatedly is grocery shopping, and how that is actually one of the tasks that can be automated the most. And I believe it, because I've done my fair share of getting my groceries delivered, although I feel like that's been a bit downhill because the shoppers do not have good replacements, or it's very hard for me to sit there and place this big old order and then half of the things not be there, and then I have to go grocery shopping anyways. But even with that, I've noticed as I've gone back to my regular grocery store, now when they send me a coupon book, because I've noticed this has been their new thing, it's literally a coupon for like every single thing that I order. And I'm like, okay, so they know my order as well. And again, you're going to continue to see these different kind of things that are going to keep popping up because the system is getting to know you. Whether for good or for bad, it's what you're putting in there that matters. And again, that matters because with this evolution of the internet, we'll also see our evolution of a society, right? Like a social credit score that I mention to you all whenever I get a chance to. Because as you're putting content out there on social media, AI is putting it in categories as well. And it's going to matter and what AI thinks about you eventually. And that's going to be able to determine if you can keep taking flights and vacations and bay trips and all of those different things. So again, it really is important for us to be educating ourselves and understand that we are feeding the machine. And have to be mindful and a part of that so that this future and the future of the internet works for us. And then there's the expression of the Internet of Things, which will continue to grow as the Internet of Things grows. And with that, more connected device and an increase of automation in various industries will continue to happen. So like we just said, if you've been over here looking on your phone that you want to go to Chipotle for lunch, then you're going to get in your car and your car is going to be like, okay, well, you ready to go to Chipotle? Again, because it's all going to be connected. It's going to understand exactly what you've been putting in and going to try to automate this process a bit for you. And I can say, I think there's good and bad. And of course, we have that with anything. So again, it's just understanding that these are the things that the new variations of the internet are trying to figure out. And then there's also the adoption of blockchain technology. Now, blockchain technology will continue to gain adoption, enabling new applications and services such as decentralized finance, secure data sharing, and digital identity verification. Now, let me get to that decentralized finance. Why do you think that matters? If you've ever applied for a loan or not a loan, think about what it's going to be like if that was automated and it was all up to an algorithm to be able to decide if you can get a loan or not get a loan. Or take it even a step back. You could take the algorithm out and it's based solely on assets, where you can have something like, I've seen a lot of really cool leveraging platforms where you can, have an NFT that's worth like 1 ETH, for example. And for anybody that's not into crypto, NFT would be like a piece of art, right? Say you had a Picasso piece, a painting, and it was valued at $1,000, but you needed that $1,000 because you got to pay your rent, and then maybe your rent's $500, and you want to use the other $500 to buy a new Picasso piece that you've seen that's like $300, but it's really worth $1,000, and you want to buy that so you can flip it yourself. So what you would do in this decentralized finance is be able to actually loan using your assets. So you can put your Picasso on a loan, get that $1,000 from somebody that would, like to exhibit your piece for however long they'd like. You guys would literally write a contract and say, hey, you hold my NFT for 3 months, I'll have your $1,000, and then I got 3 months to pay you back. You take that $1,000, you pay your rent, you buy your Picasso, you try to flip it, you get your money back, you pay it off. And that's the beauty of decentralized finance. And when you hear decentralized, one of the best ways I like to put it is just peer-to-peer, right? Like I said, I have $1,000, you have a Picasso, I want to put it in my exhibit, you need $1,000 liquid right now. We can work that out amongst each other. We can use smart contracts to even help us write that contract so that it says, I've got it for 3 months, you got it for $1,000. Once you get me my $1,000 back, that picture or NFT will release back to you after that $1,000. And if you renege on that $1,000, then I keep the Picasso because, hey, you've paid $1,000 and I've got the piece of art now. And that will all be operated by a smart contract, which just means, again, a contract that operates itself. We put in what the standards are, and that's what it is. And you don't need a lawyer to officiate it or a judge to prove it, because it would just self-execute based on the terms that we agreed and put it into there. And that's the beauty of blockchain technology. And then you guys also heard me say that digital identity verification. And I've just hit on that again with the social credit score, us being able to verify who people are on the internet, right? I've seen Facebook was like giving me a really hard time because I wanted to be Mocasso, and it was like, that's not your real name. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be called my real name. I want to be my Mocasso. But again, because digital identity is going to be a true form of our identity. It's going to be an extension of our identity, right? That's why I always say this physical to digital. This Mocasso here is a digital twin that I have, right? A digital representation of myself. And so we'll start to see in the future how, again, that will continue to be even an asset in itself in that digital identity verification. And then, most importantly, one of my favorites is the evolution of e-commerce. And this will continue to evolve as new technologies such as voice assistants and augmented reality change the way that people shop online. Now, when I say augmented reality, this is just filters. And we all know filters because we all use them on Instagram or Snapchat or Facebook, or anytime you want to take a picture on any kind of social media, we've all seen the option to use a filter. Now imagine if you could flip that camera around and the filter was on your environment. And not only is this filter on the environment, but this filter adds another level to the environment that couldn't be there before because of things like gravity or it being, in the middle of a sidewalk and different things that you wouldn't be able to experience before. A great example that I seen was during Paris Fashion Week. Gucci had a filter on their building, and they were able to just use it like a billboard where they showed different designers and different colors and different pictures. Or even I've seen Disney now where they have this AR version where you can actually be watching Disney on your TV, but then you have this filter that is all around the TV that makes you feel almost immersed in the environment without having to be in the metaverse, but it's just there in your room. And again, think about how powerful that is. Right now, there's one metaverse named OVR Metaverse, where you can actually buy like the air. And it's aligned with Google Maps. So you actually buy like that space. And whenever people are at that space, if they have that Over app as well, they will be able to access and see your filter whenever they're there. And again, think about how that transforms advertising. Or just like I told you guys, I have a shop here in the metaverse. Now I can be out anywhere and pop up my shop, because in the spatial metaverse they do already have an AR view of it where people can look on the phone, and it pops up all the things from in my store just in your space right there. So we get to create this larger than life experience for viewers to actually come and see the products, especially because my tie-dyes are very unique, and I want people to be able to see them and experience them before they buy it, and that's a great way that they can. And we're going to continue to see these different experiences evolve. And that's why, again, it's really important for different businesses to understand this technology so that they can also understand how they can use it in order to help them be a part of the future. Because if you're spending your time right now focused on Facebook ads and Google ads and a lot of these things that worked for the past version of the internet, you're not going to be lasting in the next 5 years, because that stuff is going to be dated. It's not going to be a sufficient way as if you were putting in that time right now to learn about how to get some AR filters for your goods, or get your presence in the digital space, because that's what all the legendary brands are doing right now. Nike is in here building with different NFT projects that already got it figured out so that they can get their foot in the game. And you can see that with a lot of big brands, and it's going to continue to keep happening because the internet is evolving. How we interact with people and things are evolving, and you don't want to be the shop that people can't go in and see in the metaverse when they can do that for everyone else's. You want to be that cutting edge pioneer, because that's going to even give you the advantage for someone that says, hey, well, you know what? I want to go shop with Mocasso because I know she's going to have her new pieces in the shop that I can go see anytime. We've got some spaces in here where a really cool designer called Alter Alley, they actually have like a space just for you to get connected with the virtual try-on. So it's really cool because you just actually go, you can click on the link, it takes you to the Amazon store, and then you actually can take a picture of your foot, and it looks like you're trying on like a shoe or a bathing suit, and then you can buy it right there as well. And you didn't have to leave your house for any of that. And then you can also hold experiences, a party when you drop it, and, get-togethers to promote it, and so much more becomes possible when you take the time to even start with understanding the tech. So I know today was a mouthful, but we've been having a lot of fun, and I needed to get into the nitty-gritty to make sure that you guys know that women in the metaverse is important, and it's important for more women to keep coming into the metaverse. And I'm going to keep coming on here every Monday and sharing these different topics and pushing you to think, pushing you to protect yourself, and pushing you to be a part of building this future. Now, with that being said, I want you to think about it and then drop in the comments something that you think the future of the internet will consist of. Then we'll be back next week to do it all again and get into the nitty-gritty. Peace.